30 years later, and we still out here rocking the radios, yo. Shout outs to my man DJ Spazzo and Charlie, man. Yeah, when I first did this record, right, we did it with shout outs to my man Michelob, who's featured on it. Who was a COD graffiti writer for that. We all grew up together doing graffiti, you know what I'm saying? He had first did the original track, and we did the video for that one too. But the one that gravitated more to radio when Funkmaster Flex first played it was we bring Ski Beats into the studio. It was Firehouse Studios. We went in there, knocked it out. We flipped the verses over again, and we came out with the remix. And at that time, you know, Ski was hot. Ski already did the Dead Presidents was about to come out. He had already all these songs that he did with Jay-Z plus his own career. So we kind of like piggybacked from what they were doing, you know what I mean? That was just dope to be part of the movement or be part in that movement. But yeah, man, and shout outs to Mad Dog. You know, he gave us the first opportunity to do this, and we shot this video. Called out Abdul Malik, because of course we were linked with Ski Beats, and he had did Ski Beats first videos and Jay-Z's first videos. So of course we was like, let's get at Abdul and see if he shoots the video. And you know, we had fun. We had the whole COD team, the whole Bronx came out. My mother was the chef on there. You heard? My mom was the cook at that video shoot. We gave her the budget. There was a budget, and we were like, yo, give it to my mother. She knows how to cook the food that I like. You know what I'm saying? She took and made that whole thing. My daughter was the first on there. That was her first video set that she was there too. My daughter, she was the only baby I had at that time. Underground Flow, man. My first experience in the music business, because before that, I just used to do like freestyles on DJ's records, you know what I mean? But this was like when I first met Ski. He put me in the studio, and not too far from that, I had a deal in a video. Shout outs to Ski Beats again, man. Well, this part right here, we shot it on 174th Street, right off the train station. This guy right here, this is my guy E. Hunt. Police had killed him years ago when we were kids, man. And COD did the whole, if you see the background, like we ended up doing this whole background, you know, like we have a whole graffiti background growing up. And this was like really our first time coming out. But what's crazy is that like my team always worked under like Hype Williams, Classic Concept, Ralph McDaniels and Lionel Martin. They were art directors. So we used to always do videos for like Wu-Tang, Boyz II Men, KRS-One, a whole bunch of videos. Like this was like before we even got into the music business. You know what I mean? Gangstar. We were just doing Brandy. All these videos, like just doing the art directing, like doing the visuals. Like if they wanted a room to look like old school, they would fix it up. They would do graffiti on the walls and stuff like that. And that's how we got a lot of our props, because we always had the up on where the video sets would be. So we would go and do graffiti all over the place. And when they filmed the actual video, our names would be in the background. So we used all the art directing that we knew in the game and kind of applied it to what we was doing, because we just added on flavor, because this was the times in the 90s, 1995. But yeah, shout outs to 174th Street. That's where we used to be at, the whole COD team. Well, most of them from there. Shout outs to Stress, shout outs to Face, shout outs to Whips and Bell, God bless, rest in peace. But yeah, that's where we used to hang out at, right? Actually, right there. All of those are all our people, man. And you see it said Concrete Jungle, and if you see it, it says 174th Street. And actually, this was like the first time when we started bringing like the Europeans down here, my people from Norway and all that. We really connected with them and ended up going over there on a tour, you know what I'm saying? Stood out there for about a month and a half, all coming from here. You know what I'm saying? This first video got us a deal, got us everything that we started doing. They played it on Ralph McDaniels, you know, video music box. They played it on the box. Yo, it was a good time, man, you know what I mean? Man, Abdul Malik, right? Abdul, he shot a lot of the Jay-Z stuff, and he was the director for State Property. You know what I mean? Both of them. So he got a lot of work that he got, and if you check his credit, that boy has been rocking, man. Shout outs to him, man. Abdul Malik Abbott, man. Get familiar. And he's a musician. But yeah, man, this was all good times, man. Shout outs to my man Jay Sabar. definitely had a lot of input into this, you know what I mean? I remember when I first got this video back from like the first edit, I was like, wow. I mean, now we doing shit like, we doing that with your phones, but yo, at that time it was like a taboo, you know, you really had to pay for these things. This wasn't like a little budget either. A couple of thousand for that video, yo. Actually, we had an issue, but we're more with people. Somebody like, they just try to be in the video a little too much and it got a little out of hand and shit, but it was all good. You know, now it was crazy, but at first, you know, when you coming up, you don't understand some of the things that you see, like, cause it's all new to you. You know, now I see that, like, I know everything under the sun. You know what I mean? But like, in those days, it was all new, like how people would act or react, how people act when the camera's on. You know what I'm saying? It was all new, man. But it was still great times because after that, it was just show after show, tours. You know, doing the BET Teen Summit. It was just, after this was the whole start. This is the start of everything right here. Do a lot of freestyles on mixtapes. DJs would come by. I would rock a lot of parties. Shout outs to my whole Scream team and all of them. We did a lot of parties, and I used to go do house parties and rap and all that. But when I got the opportunity, it was on, man. Like I said, I got a chance to meet Ski. Ski actually met me in a cypher. Like, I was out on 110th Street in Lexington. I tell this story all the time. And he seen me battling like with a bunch of people, and out of everybody, I came and I was like, yo, what's up, Original Flavor? Because I was up on hip hop, you know what I mean? So I already knew about him coming up. He didn't have the same partner that he did when he got with T Strong, but Ski had this other partner, and I remembered him from there. And then when I came into the picture, that's when already they had T Strong coming in, and he was doing Can I Get Open with Jay-Z and all the Original Flavor stuff. And he told me, yo, have I been to the studio? And I was like, nah, I ain't never been to the studio. So then the next day, I get a pager, because look, it was pages. I get a page 110, and that used to be for my peoples in the street, so I called it back quick, but it was Ski, because Ski lived on 110. So he made that his code, and I didn't know, but when I called him back, he was like, come by. I did a record with him, and then like about a month later, we had this record, and it was over. We had the deal coming and all that. Again, shout out to my man Ski Beats, man. And you know what? Shout out to all the people that gave us clothes. Like, look, shout out to my man Wes, right? We had the PMB gear before Nick Cannon had got it, because that's who my man Wes made that gear up, you know what I mean? And he laced us. Shout out to Subware, my man Stash, you know what I'm saying? So many of the clothing people at that time, like that we dealt with and all that, gave us clothes for the whole people. Everybody in the crowd gave people clothes, all this stuff. Sergini, what's that? Sergio Tashini? They hooked us up too. At that time, it was a great time, man. We were getting clothes from everywhere. Once they knew that we were shooting a video for the first time, and you know, like a lot of the graffiti writers that came up with us, they were doing a lot of the fashion that were coming up. A lot of the gear that you probably wore was designed by some of my peoples, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Wayne, Wen, Stash, all of them, you know, they worked with Reebok, they worked with Rockaware, they worked with Nike. So a lot of stuff that we were connected with a lot of people that were coming up at the time. Because this was more on their come up. This, being where they were with Nike was later on, but they were still coming up with new designs, and people at Mecca, Echo, you know what I'm saying, Subware, PNB. They were just lacing us, and they were really open to see like us graffiti writers that came from graffiti, came from the streets, came from the hood, from the hustle, all that. And coming out with a video, they couldn't believe it. They were like, look at these crazy. Like I said, man, we had a lot of fun, man. I look at everybody that's in here, some are still here, some are not. And it's just bugged out, man. I'm just fortunate to still be here doing this hip hop shit. Just reflecting on what I've done and being 30 years down the line, that we still doing music and doing it for the love is an incredible thing, man. I look at that and I go, wow. Good times, man.